Yeah, it was not what I
Yeah.
really. No, what? I don't know what I was gonna expect. I didn't know
Well,
because I didn't watch the trailer or anything like that. I just had the front cover. I knew he was in a truck, so I knew it was gonna be like small townish. I didn't think it was gonna be old time-ish,
mhm.
but I knew it was gonna be small townish. Um, so I didn't know where it was gonna go. I knew it was gonna be more
Yeah.
like country folk.
Well, I was like surprised when Tom Holland didn't show up right away. And I'm like, all right, he's a kid, right? He's a
Right,
kid. We're gonna see him grow up a little bit. But they spent so much
right,
time with him as a kid, like I think
yeah.
almost half the movie or something.
Not half. I would say good. Like the movie is 2 hours and like 10 minutes or something on Netflix.
Hmm.
Um, probably 30 minutes, 40 minutes, maybe 30 minutes.
Well, because it shows his dad and how his dad kind of grew up,
I
kind of.
liked it. Showed two different. The reason why it seemed like half the movie because it was showing Lenora's childhood and his. Really,
Yeah.
they spent more on his, but I would say like 15 minutes was on Lenora's. With the preacher who's Lenora's dad, the guy who does spiders on himself.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah,
That's
what a character, huh?
similar with
Roy.
Odegaard. He's the Harry Potter's cousin. Same
Oh,
dude.
that's Dudley.
Yeah, that's Dudley.
Oh, I thought I recognized him again. I was like, why does he look familiar? This time I knew because we watched something recent.
Yeah,
Um,
that's Dudley.
Dudley, fucking Dudley. He's having a comeback career, huh?
Yeah, him. Then we get oh god, what's his name? Edward.
Who?
The freaking. He was also in Harry Potter.
Oh, and
Why don't I remember his Patterson? No, I'm saying Patterson. Fuck, why don't I remember? Robert Patterson.
who's Robert Patterson?
The the newer priest that comes in later.
Right. But who's he in Hogwarts or in Harry Potter?
He was in the Goblet of Fire. He was Harry's
Oh, he was the
Seth. What's his name?
Celtic or
Yeah,
something like that. Something
Cedric.
like that.
Cedric. Yeah.
Cedric, that's what it was.
Yeah. Poor Cedric.
Cedric. That's right. Isn't he the guy from Twilight too?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's gonna be the new
He was
Batman.
very familiar. He's supposed to be the new Batman.
He's gonna be the new Batman.
Oh my god.
There's already trailers of it out there if you're really curious.
That just sounds dumb. Okay,
I
let's
mean,
watch it. Fuck it. Let me
he's
see
already a
this.
bat. He's already a vampire, so
I guess,
perfect fit
but-
for Batman.
Yeah, but he's not like he's not Batman built.
Well, he might
Unless he's
become.
getting yoked, which he was a little yoked in that movie. Actually, he definitely was a little bit thicker. They didn't really show it too much because he had his preacher clothes on, but
Yeah. When a couple
yeah,
times he took off his shirt. All right.
Let's watch him being Batman.
I don't see.
Oh my god, looks dumb already.
Let's see. This is it. All right, let's play it.
How long is it?
2 minutes. 1:30.
No more lies. Okay.
From your secret
Yeah,
friend.
Underneath the bridge,
Who?
top is sprung
Hey, it's the robot from Westworld.
Yeah.
Having a clue.
I'm not sure who he
Let's play a
plays.
game.
I
Just
thought
me
he
and
was
you.
like a Black Gordon, but
Any of this mean anything to you?
I don't think so. Maybe.
Maybe.
You're becoming quite a
That's supposed to
celebrity.
be.
Why is he writing to you?
So it doesn't look like it's taking place in modern day.
Looks like future Batman.
No, it looks like if this took place in like the 80s or something. Or the 70s, I don't know.
What is the price for your blind eye?
But look at his Batmobile. I think it's in here.
I'm vengeance.
Straight up muscle.
Yeah,
Muscle
but it could be
Batmobile.
future. Still be future.
I guess.
Debatably future or past. Yeah, look at the Batman car right there. That looks like the one. Well, it looks like a Jeep.
You'll see.
Looks more like looks like old school American muscle or something.
It does, but maybe that's what's futuristic.
Maybe, but
That's what they did in Mad Max.
yeah. Well, yeah. Mad Max was just. Yeah, I guess it looks like something in Mad Max, but is Mad Max the future though?
Yeah, I think so. Or it's just a different realm, but it's a different realm where the future would be. I don't know. I didn't really know.
But yeah, so the new Batman. Apparently Ben Affleck didn't cut it.
Well, Ben Affleck's like, fuck this, I'm just gonna make my own shit.
Well, apparently he was. He was really invested into Batman. He was trying to make Batman his own thing.
Yeah, but I could see them trying to control it too much. I mean, DC, I think, is just garbage, and I think Marvel's heading that way because Disney bought them out. But
Well,
you know,
Disney had Marvel for a while, so
has it?
yeah. Disney
I
had
don't know how
Marvel probably
hasn't been
like
tainted.
5-6
by-
years by now.
I don't know how Marvel hasn't been tainted yet.
Well, I mean, it definitely had some misses. Like I think Captain Marvel was a miss.
Black Panther was Black Panther was alright actually.
I think it was okay. I think people liked it a lot for cultural reasons.
I think it was liked a lot more than what it was, but I don't think it was a bad movie.
I just rewatched it, so yeah, it wasn't bad.
I should rewatch it. It's a good rewatch.
Yeah, but like their Spider-Man is great. Their Guardian of the Galaxy, the second one was kind of meh.
I did not like the Wasp, the Ant-Man and Wasp. That was like
That one felt a little bit generic too.
Yeah.
I mean, but when like the whole franchise is superheroes, it's hard to.
I feel like the Ant-Man thing
After 10 years.
went on too long.
Yeah, well, after 10 years, you kind of just get it. You're like, everything feels familiar. So I think DC, if it's any time like for them to do well and shine, it's now. Like they're making darker films, more like The Boys, I guess.
The only thing
and
is,
stuff like that.
their dark films just
Are bad.
are bad.
Yeah.
Just bad. Like Marvel takes the time to feed each story, and it's gonna be a long, lengthy, same story kind of thing. But it's a new hero that gets entered into the mix, which is kind of cool. Like Marvel's,
like the bad guys has the same powers as the good guys.
Is Black Adam DC?
Yes, yeah.
That's a shame. It's a shame The Rock's going to DC.
Yeah.
The Rock should be going into Marvel in some kind of role.
Well, The Rock is actually very heavily invested in Black Adam. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I
He
think he's gotten a little cultural with it.
Yeah, but he also he's like spearheading the movie and stuff like that. He has a lot of power when it comes into like he's making the movie. He's like pretty much Ryan Reynolds with Deadpool. Like Ryan Reynolds is Deadpool, and like I think he had enough power where in this Deadpool 2 he swapped out the director because greater differences. Yeah, I forgot who. And it
I
was
love how actors just go in there and just start fucking taking over.
no, I mean we don't know how their dynamic is, but like the whole
Well,
reason why
some
Deadpool
actors-
exists is because Tim Miller. Tim Miller's the director of the original Deadpool, and I don't believe he was the director of the second one. Yeah, the second one is David
Light short or
Litch or something like that. Yeah, but
Lick.
originally it was Tim Miller, and then Ryan Reynolds swapped them out pretty much because of creative differences. But the only reason why Deadpool even exists because of Ryan Reynolds. So he, even though he's the talent, he has a lot of power.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if he's a producer in it as well. He probably is.
Silent producer.
No, I mean,
No, I know.
Like,
There's
actually, like,
definitely actors who take over shows, or at least make their voices heard, or it's not
Yeah.
happening.
he's one of the writers, and this is Deadpool 2 too. So he's one of the writers in Deadpool 2.
So he probably kicked him out and said that he's like, well, who's gonna write? And I was like, I am.
He's one of the producers as well. Yeah. Yeah, he's a writer and producer, and talent. So once you get that big, you just get a lot of power, and then
Yeah, I get it. But back to the devil all the time.
yeah. So what do you think of it generally? I guess.
I think it showed a lot of ways that religion could go dark. I felt was kind of the general idea.
Mm.
And Tom Holland, RV, what's his name? RV. I think he was more of a realist, while most of the people around him were, believed in God and faith.
Yeah, well, I mean, he kind of had a very weird experience growing up.
Yeah,
with
with his
religion.
dad
Yeah.
forcing him to pray, and kills his dog and forces him to pray some more. And then
But he just
dies
left
the
the
next
dog
day.
there, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think
So
he killed himself too, like right in front. Yeah,
it's fucked up.
they didn't do a lot of like development with his dad, like the relationship between his dad and his mom. I wish they did a little bit more, so I can like.
No, but it was enough.
Yeah.
Because, why would you want more?
Yeah.
I thought it was enough.
Yes, they just seem so extreme. Like they made his dad seem like a crazy person, which I guess he was.
I think the war just fucked him up. I actually had here in my notes a little bit that I don't know. Do you think the war messed him up too much, or do you think like
If anything about the war messed him up, it was the whole cross and finding the general or something like on it with maggots coming out of it still alive. That's the only thing. But like I didn't quite get it because like he came back and he was like saying, oh, he doesn't really have the urge to pray or anything. Pretty much didn't have faith.
right?
Then I don't know where like he got faith back, and then to that extreme too.
Things were going good, so I think he decided to just start praying.
Yes. I don't know.
Like-
That transition was kind of weird for me. It was just like,
No, I felt like it was like, he's worked, he's got older, he's got a wife, he's got kids now. Kind of reflecting on his life, and then he decides to start praying again. So that's when he lets them know.
is that how it
but-
works? I don't know. I feel like people don't just decide to start believing. Like something has to happen where like
Some people have it in the back of their head.
I guess. But it didn't seem like he had it back in the head. It seemed like he didn't believe in it at all. Remember he was like talking
No,
about
they didn't make him seem like he hated it.
we didn't hate it.
Tom
He just
Holland.
didn't
Like
he
Tom
wasn't
Holland
drawn
was
to
obvious. They made it obvious. Yeah, he just wasn't drawn to it.
it.
But it wasn't like he was against it. So
Yeah.
like when you're in that limbo, you could go either way. It's like you have you're agnostic. You could go either way. Like he doesn't know, but he just I don't know, nothing really clicked for him. But maybe when he got a family and everything like that, he decided to. And then when he decided to believe in it, when something went wrong, like God was supposed to fix things. You know,
Yeah.
that was where they all kind of went wrong. Like most, like, what is it, traditional Christian religion, like God doesn't fix things for you, you know.
Yeah. I mean, so growing up Catholic, I have no like I don't know the difference between Christian and Catholicism, but
I barely know the difference.
people don't really
expect God to physically actually do something for you.
like
It's more of like a hope.
the most relatable one was when the mom died. So I get that,
Mhm.
like praying real hard for something like that. But like
Yeah, but fanatically,
yeah, I've never seen that.
yeah, I believe it's happened though.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I believe it's happened.
Um they got I don't know. I'm like looking at all the actors and stuff, but let's dude, what do you think people like Christians think of this movie? It's
I don't think they
pretty.
like it.
Maybe we should.
I
I
don't
don't
think they
know.
like it. I don't think Christians would like it just because they. I mean, I think this stuff like this really did happen in life back in the day.
Uh-huh.
I think
I think
the
it still
timeline of
happens,
this
dude.
probably, yeah.
Yeah.
I think the timeline of this is between the 50s and the 85s or so, mid 50s, mid 80s.
Yeah.
Um, I think stuff like this did happen. You know, people expected too much from God, or just kind of twisted it too much and went a wrong way. Um, but
All right. I'm searching the devil all the time controversy. I wonder if there's any.
no, don't do that. I don't want to talk about what someone else is talking about.
Oh man. Well, no, I'm trying to see what if people have a problem with it at all. From what I can tell, nothing really surfaces to the top. Yeah.
No, I mean, I just people are gonna have a problem with everything.
Yeah.
So,
But I mean,
I just think the reason why Christians wouldn't like it, or religion wouldn't like it in general, is just because it's kind of a dark truth, but it doesn't define religion. But it is like when you get people to believe in something so wholeheartedly, they could get obsessed and twisted if not
Yeah.
guided correctly.
Yeah.
And that can happen with anything. Happens with like revenge or anger or love or peace.
Dude,
You
what
know,
was up with? Kind of on the note, what was up with what's his character's name? Um, the guy, the spider dude.
what about him, Roy? Roy,
His name's Roy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah.
Lafarge,
Oh my god, the actor's name is Harry.
Hmm.
For reals?
What about him? What do you mean? What's up with him? What about him?
Like, why did he go so crazy? Like, he had remorse at the end, but like, he's just crazy and got possessed to thinking that, I don't know, God can revive or would give him the powers to revive his wife.
That's why he kills him. Yeah, well, I think that's just one thing that when you believe so full-heartedly into something,
Yeah,
you think you know you feel special,
yeah,
especially when you're given the status of preacher. You know, people you see in this movie that people took advantage of the status preacher,
yeah.
and
For
he
him,
kind
there
of
was
thought
no doubt he can revive
yeah, there
her,
was
so
no
it
doubt
wasn't.
they thought he was a chosen one by God, and so he could basically do whatever he wanted to himself, and God would protect him. And then he got bit
Yeah,
on the cheek, and I don't know. And then he got all fucked up because he's like, "My world's a lie," and it basically took him 3 days to come out of that closet to convince himself that this is actually all part of God's plan, and the power does.
He got bit in the
exist.
cheek
Just-
by a spider.
Yeah.
Oh, I missed that. Was it because he poured
Well,
the
you don't-
spider?
Well, I mean, he does this every sermon. He pours spiders on himself every sermon he goes to. So eventually he gets bit. They talk about this.
Oh, I
And,
missed that.
He was in the closet when she was bringing him food.
I remember that.
his
Yeah.
wife. So you don't actually see his face, but the narrator's saying like he got bit by a spider, and that's why he's being crazy like this. But he was in the closet for like 3 days because he got bit. But when it came out, he was like, "I got it. I got the idea. I know what the Lord's speaking to me." Then he goes, and stabs her in the neck with a screwdriver.
Fucking crazy.
Yeah. So
Man. Well,
he
They
ended up
say-
being his.
at least he wasn't pure evil. He was just crazy.
He wasn't pure evil. He was just crazy, and I think that was another lesson that the movie's trying to do. I don't know. I got the vibe that it was a little anti-religion, or it was just informative of following religion wrongly, like what could happen.
Yeah, I
You know,
think
if you kind of just if you try to make up the shit yourself, or like if it's unchecked.
Yeah, I think the critiqued it definitely focused more on the people. I mean, it's kind of in a name, the devil all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Focus on the people than the religion. I mean,
Yeah, the characters. I really liked how they portrayed the characters. As nasty as they were, they portrayed the characters pretty well.
yeah, the freaking photographer, dude, that was scary.
Yeah, shit like that happens. Shit like that happens. It's crazy.
Yeah, they got a lot of big actors in this movie.
At the end, he takes out the blanks. The narrator says
Oh,
serial
yeah.
killers aren't the most trusting kind, and so he took out her blanks. So funny. He's in Lawless, right? That Carl, the serial killer.
Lawless?
He's one of the brothers. Yeah, the guy you're looking at. He's in Lawless.
I don't know what Lawless is.
It's one Tom Hardy and Stanley Yelnats.
Have I seen this? I might have seen this and just totally forgot about it.
This.
He's in a lot of things though. Jonas. He's in a lot of things, dude.
Yeah.
He's like Zero Dark 30.
Yeah.
Where else?
He's a good actor. I like him.
He's in what? He's a dope John Connor in Terminator?
What?
Terminator Genesis. Which one is that? I haven't watched any of the new Terminator. But yeah. I don't know, he's in stuff. But
I wasn't expecting the dad to kill himself.
I kind of felt that, dude. Especially
I
when the
knew he
kids
was
started
losing
walking
it,
out
but I
into
didn't
the
think-
dark.
I knew he was losing it, but I wasn't expecting him to just slice her open,
His like neck.
Crazy.
I don't know. I thought it was hilarious how Harvey just had like the berry pie all over himself. He's just sitting. He's just sitting at the store. Pop's like, "You good? Is that blood?" He's like, "Nope, I ate a pie." His dad
ate a
just
pie.
killed
My
himself.
dad's over there.
He pretty much gave up on life at that point.
Yeah. No. Yeah, our life sucks.
God, mom.
I liked how he when fights were started though, he finished them and like waited and took his time and just went and just beat the shit out of people.
Oh yeah, I think that was dope. I think
I think that's right. I think some people just deserve to get their ass beat.
yeah, and I think it was a good lesson his dad showed him.
Yeah.
Like,
I think it was.
and it's really cool. I haven't seen a movie at all really where I can see so much influence, like father influence, I guess, or parental influence on a kid. Like this movie,
Yeah.
it's
Well, they
it's
really show. I don't know. I like that they took the time, um, developing the way they grew up, like with the
Mhm.
father and their interactions and kind of who they were and stuff like that. Like Lenora was exactly like her mom, right? Like Lenora, she was
Oh yeah,
just
she just
super,
really believed in
super
stuff, and
religious and super into God. And
but her mom died when she was still like 1 or something.
yeah, but like you just tell
Yeah.
like characteristics are very much
Well,
her
yeah, she
mom.
fell for the stupid reverend.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, yeah. Um,
It was brutal when like the narrator like was like, "Oh," and in the last moment she thought that really her grandma or whatever really did love her and everything will be okay. She tries to remove the noose and then trips and then
it just gets.
and I thought that was
Yeah.
like, man,
I was like, oh, that's how it would happen too. If you ever hang yourself and you're just right there and you're like, all right, it's time to do it. You're like, wait, you know what? No, this is crazy. This is crazy. It's just, uh, uh.
yeah.
But how did she know how to tie a noose and tied it pretty good and get it in there and like that's. I just can't picture her doing
Dude,
it.
we thought me and Ian watched it together. We thought she was just going to that little back house and performing some like ghetto
Some
ass.
kind of ghetto ass abortion, right?
Yeah,
That's what I was thinking. Because the last thing you hear is like, oh, she's gonna, find a way to get rid of it or whatever. And so I'm like,
yeah,
oh, she's going to go find a way to get rid of it.
yeah.
Excuse me.
Like there were so many deaths already. I didn't think they will like show that much more, and then apparently everyone just dies.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So pretty much, and then he just starts popping caps.
Yeah, literally everyone in the movie died except for the grandparents and Arvin.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Were they his grandparents? I
Well,
was
one was his
confused.
uncle, and Willard called him uncle.
Willard called him uncle. Willard?
The dad. The
Oh,
dad
the
called him
dad.
uncle.
Oh, so his uncle and uncle's wife.
So it's like his second uncle.
Oh, so then what's her name's mom? Is it Charlotte's mom? Is the one that got stabbed in the neck is
Lenora's mom.
yeah. Oh, Lenora?
Lenora's mom.
Lenora,
Not
okay.
related to grandma. Um,
Wait, I thought
she's not related to the grandma.
how's she related to them?
She's not.
Oh, she's not? They're just friends?
She's just friends. She's the girl that she tried to get Willard with. The dad. She tried
I
to
see.
hook up the dad with her
I see, I see.
when he got back from the war, but he had her eyes on Arvin's mom, so they didn't get together.
Damn.
So that she ended up getting together with Roy after that sermon, basically with the spiders, and then yeah.
Yo, so okay, so why did what's grandma's name? God.
I forget her
Or
name.
grandma.
About her.
Like why did she get so upset when Robert Pattinson rejected her food or something? Or like she was
'Cause
so
he's a dick
embarrassed.
about it.
He was speaking in like such a reverendy way. I didn't understand what the deal
I
was.
understood it the first time, and I understood a little bit better the second time when I watched it twice.
Oh.
So you remember when they're at the butcher store?
Not quite. What happened at the butcher store?
So they're at the butcher store. They're talking to one of the kids, the butcher kid, and they're saying, I'd rather be here than the Vietnam War, basically. His grandma was there with him. They're shopping for a dish. Because remember, the old reverend said to Lenora, like, I think everyone should bring a dish. Oh, I'm going to have everyone bring a dish on the next sermon for my nephew. That's the old nephew's nephew. So they're bringing all those dishes, and they're talking at the butcher about whether she should get the chicken livers or the what she should get at the butcher store.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, I want to get something good. Like, I'm not gonna get the chicken livers. You know, it's kind of like a cheap thing. And Tom Holland's like, well, everyone loves the way you cook them. Like, the whole town really likes them. And she's like, oh, I don't know. And he's like, kind of just like annoyed. He's like, all right, fucking like buy them steaks. And she's like, I can't afford steaks. And so she's like, all right, then we're getting chicken livers. And so they get the chicken livers. And then as the narrator goes on, as she's cooking on that, like she's one of the best cooks in the county, and everyone loves her cooking and stuff like that. And she just thanks the Lord for her cooking skills and all this kind of stuff. So she didn't know how to fry an egg until the Lord gave her the gift. So that's like another thing that religious like people do. They don't take credit for the skill that they have; they give the credit to the Lord, which I don't really agree with, but religious people do it sometimes. And so she brings it over to the freaking sermon, and first of all, they walk in, and he sticks his finger into it, right, and eats it. It's kind of weird, but it's not like totally out of place for like that time period and in that neck of the woods. You know, they're all kind of basically hillbillies. So it's like whatever. I wouldn't do it, but whatever. And he sets it down, and the narrator's kind of saying like he tasted it, and then the narrator said after he tasted the sauce, he felt the sermon coming on. So he started talking whatever. I didn't really understand what he really meant with that. But then he starts making his plate, and he's saying how there's red meats and white meats. Rich people, some people eat like this every day, or like some people eat this type of meal, a good many a times, while there's poor people who don't. While he's kind of referring to whoever made the chicken livers, and then said that basically that he'll sacrifice himself and eat these livers so everyone can have their a more bountiful share with all the better stuff. And
shit.
Said that he does things like this any chance the Lord gives him, so that because he follows in the footsteps of Jesus, is what he said. And Tom Holland was like, what the fuck? This guy's a fucking asshole.
Dude, what if he just really liked it? He tasted it. He's like, this is the fucking best. I call dibs.
That's what Tom Holland said, actually, in the movie. He refers to that.
Okay.
Like, I bet you he just liked it so much that he wanted it all for himself.
Yeah.
So that was kind of, she said, so she felt terrible. She was nervous the whole time going there. And religious people, they take sermons and all that kind of stuff super serious, especially in that area. Religion's a big deal. It decides almost your status in the community.
Yeah. I thought he was gonna be a good guy. I'm like, oh, he's a big actor. Like, they're not gonna give him like a villainous role. Like, he's obviously a good guy. He plays the good guy all the time.
Tainted villainous role to build him for the way they plan on making Batman.
I bet. No, I don't know. It's just, I think it was a shock value. They're like, Robert Pattinson, stand-up guy, right? Always plays the good guy. Joke's on you.
Joke's on you, straight asshole.
He's
straight
like,
butthole.
He's like so nonchalant about things. It makes no sense. Like, I don't know if he even believes it. He's just like, I don't remember. Like, all we did was talk. What happened? Yeah. I'm just like,
all he did was spend time with the Lord. Crazy ass bitch.
I'm like, it's just you two talking. You don't have to lie to her. You're both. It's not like you're saving face for someone else. I was just like, why lie?
You're just talking to the Lord.
Yeah, if you want to be a dick, just be a dick and just say, you know what, like, deal with it. I don't want a kid, which he did say, but like, why say nothing happened? Yeah. What made Arvin so suspicious of him?
What do you mean? Why he started following him?
Yeah. Like, because from Arvin's perspective, like, maybe he just was curious who the baby was from, or
the sheriff came by the sheriff came by and while he was at work and said that she was pregnant.
But then why specifically? Was he just suspicious of everyone and thought he would just stalk everyone? Or why specifically priest?
Well, what makes sense to me is that she would go over to that place and pray all the time. Like that's where she spent most of her time, was by the church. So it only makes sense to him, I guess, that would be the first place. Like he would look around. Like if you're, I mean, I don't understand how he had such a good instinctual investigative police skills.
Yes,
but
I mean, if
like,
I guess
made sense, but
I think he's been around religious people enough to notice when they're sketchy, and he already had a bad feeling about them. So maybe.
Well, and I don't think the preacher. Maybe he just noticed the preacher. Well, you know what? They showed him at one of the preacher's sermons. And the sermons, one of the preacher's sermons after her death, I believe, or before her death, the day she died. So when she skipped at church, I think he went or something. And the preacher was talking about delusions, which was kind of like referring to their talk. And so I think that was kind of starting to get ideas into his head.
Yeah.
And then when he was told that she was pregnant, I think that sermon really sinked into him, because I don't think he watched many sermons, and that just happened to be the one he was walking when he's talking about delusions, setting into people's minds and stuff like that.
Yeah. I don't know. It's all the characters in this movie are nuts.
Kind of a stretch, yeah.
Yeah. I didn't quite get everything. I definitely probably should have watched it a second time.
I had to watch it a second time. I was like, I'm not going to be able to talk about this if I don't watch it a second time.
Because the freaking... the cop killed those two guys, right? Just... Okay, go on.
So the cop is a whole other thing, too, we haven't even touched on.
Yeah.
But another thing we haven't touched on is kind of like Carl and Sandy. Like, was Carl Sandy's pimp? Or did they just have a deal together?
I think they were married.
Well, they were married.
Right, the photographer and the...
Right, the serial killers.
Yeah.
The serial killer couple.
They were married, and I think they were just into weird-ass shit, and then she grew tired of it. That's what.
So.
That's why I thought about it. And even at the end, she was like... She was still fine. She was still going along with it all the way through. But it just felt like she was tired of it. That was it. It was just like been enough years.
Bored of it.
Yeah. Because like that poor guy that was going off to Vietnam or whatever, she already said, "Oh, I didn't want to do it and stuff," but then she still went through with it anyways.
Yeah, she's like, "Oh, fuck it."
Yeah, and even with Tom Holland, I think she would have went through with it too.
Well.
Yeah. So, God, that shot of the poor Vietnam dude.
What, was his wieners blown off?
Yeah. I didn't think... Yeah. I wasn't prepared for that.
How did you think that happened? You think she bit off his wiener? Or do you think they shot it off?
I don't know. To be honest, dude, I thought I didn't even think they were serial killers. At first. I thought they only killed the first crazy priest, the spider priest.
Because he wouldn't do it?
Because he wouldn't do it. And then, you know, they show all the photos of, like, her fucking guys and stuff. And okay, they just want photos of her fucking guys. And then they probably let him go or something. Mm-hmm. I didn't know they killed him all. So I wasn't prepared for that.
Which is crazy because there's a long stretch of roads.
Yeah.
Long stretch of roads they could get away with it.
Yeah, and...
they could get away with it like that.
At first, I'm like, oh, man, this lucky guy is about to get some.
Yeah, I was like, oh, easy deal, man.
Yeah.
You hitch a ride, you know, get a little putang, and you're out of there.
Yeah.
Straight murdered.
I mean, I should have seen it coming, but...
Yeah. Tom Holland was on his A game, though.
Well, he just got back from a murder. Right? He just killed the priest, so he was, like, on edge already, so... And he's pretty good reading people.
I like how he after hitchhiking with them and almost getting killed by serial killers, he still goes and hitchhikes again. I'm not
At
sure
the
he has
end?
much of an. He goes and just
Yeah.
hitchhikes again.
Oh,
Like,
he hitchhikes again, and at the end, he still hitchhiked, right?
and he hitchhikes again at the end.
Yeah. I mean, what are you gonna do? No.
You could just steal the car. You might as well. You know,
Yes.
like they're going to see your face anyways if you're not going to just outright kill them.
Yeah. It's
If you hitchhike, they see you. If you steal their car, they see you.
mhm.
Might as well steal the car.
Weird how
I guess you
everyone.
could I guess you could hitchhike and just not have to drive.
Yeah, maybe he doesn't know how to drive. Oh no, he does know how to drive. Been driving all. Yeah.
But if he hitchhikes, he doesn't have to drive.
Yes. I mean, it probably wasn't his cars.
Yeah.
I don't know, but that's I don't know, man. I really like his acting. It's very different than his upbeat self normally.
Yeah.
And I think it's pretty good because then he's trying to make himself not very typecasty as like this young boy, which is good because he's getting old too. Can't play like a teenager
How old
forever.
is he now? He's like 28 or so?
No, he's younger than us. I think he's 25 or 20. I want to say 25, maybe 24.
They made him seem a lot older in that movie.
Tom Holland is born. Yeah, he's 24. He's born in 96.
Youngster, huh?
Yep. He always plays like a kid, even in well, obviously Spider-Man, but then plays very similar characters in what's the one Disney Plus movie? An elf.
Mulan? Disney Plus
It
movie.
would have helped Mulan. Oh, it's Onward.
Oh, I didn't see it.
Onward. Oh, you haven't seen Onward?
No.
You have Disney Plus?
Yeah.
I think that's a movie that you and Vanessa would like a lot, actually.
Yeah. Okay.
It's do you know what it's about?
Something about a dead dad that comes back to life, but just like half of him comes back to life or something.
Yeah. It's like an animated movie. He
Yeah.
just voices the character, but the character is pretty much just his character in Spider-Man.
Oh, okay. This movie was produced by Jake Gyllenhaal.
Really?
Yeah, he's one of the producers.
Go back to it.
I was watching the credits the second time, and I saw Jake Gyllenhaal. I was like, "Wait, what did he do?"
Did you think? Do you think that's why Tom Holland's in it? Because of Spider-Man, they work together.
Jake Gyllenhaal is in Spider-Man?
Spider-Man 2, yeah. Homecoming.
I
Far
forget.
From Home. Far From Home is the second one. Oh, he's the bad guy. He's Mysterio.
I forget.
What? The main bad guy. Have you seen the second Spider-Man?
I'm sure I have. It's just been that long. Far
He
From Home.
is
Spider-Man.
one of the producer, Jake Gyllenhaal.
Far From Home.
Ooh. How do you?
Jake Gyllenhaal's in it?
He's the main bad guy. He's Mysterio, the guy with the big orb head. He like makes illusions and shit.
I got nothing. What does he look like in it?
He looks like Jake Gyllenhaal.
That's it?
Yeah, he has a cape. I don't know.
Maybe I haven't seen it. What the fuck?
You haven't? Oh, you probably haven't seen it. All right, you should go watch it. I'm pretty sure it's on Disney Plus too.
How have I not seen it?
Are you looking up the trailer right now?
No, I am.
By the way, speaking of going back to the old topic of everyone in Hollywood's Jewish, Jake Gyllenhaal is Jewish.
Oh, is he?
Yep.
Huh. Yeah, I don't think I watched this.
Yeah, well, take a look at it. Tom Holland's great in it. Jake Gyllenhaal is actually really good in it as well. And it's Marvel, so it's funny. It's
How the
fun.
hell did I not watch this?
Zendaya's in it, so I like
Who the
Zendaya.
heck is Zendaya?
I don't know who Zendaya is. She was a Nickelodeon star, and now she acts. Oh well, she always acted. Now she's in bigger roles. She's in ooh, what's that one show? Very neon.
Oh, maybe I saw this, but it was just a long time ago. I don't know. Maybe. I'll have to see.
I mean, 2019. It came out last year, dude. You couldn't have been that long.
What's happened, man?
COVID.
I'll have to watch it.
Yeah, it's
Torrent it.
yeah. So where's Zendaya? I can't find her. Oh, there she is. Zendaya. So Zendaya is she's like black, but she's like also half white. You think she's half black, half white? Female actress. She was in Euphoria. That's I don't know. Have you watched Euphoria? It's a really popular series. I
She's in
haven't
the
watched
OA.
it.
I watched the OA.
The Greatest Showman. Showman. She was in the first Spider-Man too. Homecoming. She's plays MJ.
I think you're talking about that.
Yeah. Yep. I don't know. Then she's just in a lot of like Nickelodeon stuff. But yeah, Zendaya. She's pretty talented. I like her as an actress. Her and Tom Holland are pretty much on the same league.
Cool.
But yeah. But yeah, so
So this movie was all right. I didn't mind watching it twice.
I think it's
I wouldn't go out of my way and just say like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go watch that.
it's like a movie. It's like if you want to watch a lot of like acting, like good acting,
Mm-hmm.
and like
The acting was
dramatic
good.
moments.
The acting was great.
Yeah.
I would even say the writing was solid B. It could have
Yeah.
been better. But the acting I thought was fair enough. And as far as keeping you interested, it was dark and twisted enough to keep you interested.
Yeah.
But as far as like exciting,
No, I wouldn't say it's too exciting. But I mean,
I
it's
wouldn't
a nice break from like normal blockbuster Hollywoody stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why we had an issue with like Old Guard and Project Power and stuff, right? Because
yeah.
like I think if Netflix were to make more movies with big stars like Tom Holland and stuff like that, they should do more of what this did and just make it like just focus on good storytelling than big action and explosions and not having the budget for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something like even Palm Springs, like keep it simple. Just
The only big action Palm Springs really used was like dinosaurs in that plane crash, and even then they did it very cheaply and cheesily.
yeah, that's like anyone can do that. Like at home, like I can do that. I mean, I have to learn it, but I can do that just at my home on a computer and stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But I mean, I feel like it tried to force too much of like a crookedness going on with the police and like that guy who's kind of supposed to be the mob or the criminal enterprise.
Is it
That
crooked
kind of-
though? I thought he just killed the mob guy because the narrator tells us a lot of shit, right? But the narrator was like, oh, he knew that if he stepped out of line one more time, he would get killed. So I kind of saw it as beating him to the punch.
Yeah, which is what happened. But just that whole side story was like kind of felt like half-assed.
It did. And just like shoehorned in there. It was like, oh yeah, he was also the cop that saw him when he was a kid. Dad killed himself.
And then now he sees him when he's older, and another person.
I think they wanted to make it seem like a small town, everyone's connected. Because that's serial killer was also like dining in where his dad met his mom, right?
Yeah.
And obviously they cross paths
I
with
feel like they try to close. They try to start, and then try to close a whole circle. I feel like they didn't really close this. The circle closed, but just like barely. Like it didn't like. It's not knitted all the way.
Yeah, but I mean, I think that's the charm in it. I think it would be too much. Everyone
was
knows
too
each
perfect.
other. Like I like how they never found out. Like no one ever found out that the dad, what's her name again? Lorena or
Lorna.
yeah, her dad killed her mom. No one ever found that out. They just
I
found
never
out
found
mom.
out she was pregnant,
Yeah.
or really about the serial killers.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think it's nice. It's a little bit messy, like
Yeah,
real life.
yeah.
But freaking. I don't know. I think it was a nice.
Yeah, I give it a. It was 7. I know it's such an average number to give, and I don't like to give out a 7 because it's like as most basic as you can get out of 10.
A
But
7 sounds about right. I wouldn't maybe even give it a little lower. I would say like a
I
7's fine, maybe 6.
almost said 6.5, but
Yeah, because I would say
7,
yeah.
7 just because I didn't mind watching it a second time, which is if it's a 6.5, like I would be a little reluctant to watching a second time. But because
Yeah.
it had a little complexity to it,
Yeah,
that like I was like, okay, let me watch this second time just to make sure I caught everything. And I did catch a lot more things when I watched it a second time,
Mhm.
so it made it a little bit better, in my opinion.
For me, I agree. I mean, I think for me a 5 would be like just good enough to watch. Like you don't feel like it's a waste of time.
Not quite a waste of time.
Yeah, anything below a 5 would be
It was a
like
waste of time. Just how much
waste
it
of time. Yeah, whether it has some redeeming qualities or it's Mulan at like a 1.
Like a 4, a 4 would be like a controversial waste of time.
Yeah, I would say like something like The Last Jedi, Star Wars in general, the whole new series would most of their movies would fit between like a 4 and a 2. Like mostly 4 or 3 and then like maybe a 2 in there somewhere.
Mhm.
But like
your
not
4
completely
being
waste
your-
of time. It's just kind of bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then but then Mulan's like a 1. So then I would agree. So this one's definitely above the just barely watchable. It's like it's definitely interesting. And I think some people, I think it would be fair, it's just to say I'm more into like blockbustery films too, right? Where there's
I like
more heat
shooting
and excitement.
and
Yeah,
stuff
right.
and
But-
politics.
But I
going
can
on.
see where some people would give this like a 9 or 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, if people are into this type of movie where it's a bit slower and more focused on the drama and
Because there's not really a big issue that gets resolved at the end, right? It's more of a story. It's more of a
well,
book. And
everyone
it
that
is
needed to die died, so that's
actually,
good.
this was a book, right? This was
I heard
pretty
that yeah, it's a
book.
book, but
So,
it felt like a book.
yeah, that's kind of how
I
it
haven't
was.
read books in so long, but it felt like a book with like so many different chapters with his dad and everything. It went from like there's a lot of details and nuances to it.
Yeah, it's kind of cool how they could do that with movies. They could just show you a book, exactly how books were written without being. 'Cause
Well,
you're
normally
stuck
they
on a
can't.
novel for so long.
Well, I haven't read the book, so I can't say.
No, but I'm saying
But-
just like how books are.
Yeah.
Books start off and then they kind of, I don't know. It's very specific.
Well,
Like, this is very
a lot of movies are adapted from books, and sometimes they fall short.
right, but they were able to make it seem like a book.
Yeah. Yep.
So-
So I
Alright.
think that's good into it.
So too.
It's funny. Our conversation really took the tone of the movie. I
I think
felt.
so. I think so.
Yeah. Because I think before all we do, like all the other stuff we talk about, has like some type of hype and excitement behind it, and like, oh, I can't believe this happened or that happened, or this one's just like very dry, not bad dry, but just like
It's not bad dry. It's just
Yeah.
dry.